Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Bibles on a Budget. And today we are taking a look at something that is not technically a Bible, but it does contain the words of God. And that is The Chosen Presents a Blended Harmony of the Gospels. So, if you're familiar, The Chosen is a worldwide Christian media phenomena. It is basically the telling of the Gospels in a 7 or so season series, if you will. So it's the life of Christ through the eyes and experiences of his disciples. So I know many of you are fans, many of you are not, but here it is. So you're probably asking, okay, what in the world is this? Did the Chosen make their own Bible? Do they have their own scriptures? Because if you're familiar with the Chosen, there are some parts of the story in the Chosen that are not in Scripture, because Scripture is not super detailed on certain things like the Chosen is. The Chosen kind of adds things for creative liberties. So again, if you're okay with that, great. If you're not, hey, no problem. You don't have to watch it. But this is actually a modern version of a ancient type of thing called a harmony. The first one was created long time ago, very long, hundreds of thousands, really, thousands of years ago, in the form of something called I think it's called the Diatessaron. That's what it's called. So basically, that is basically taking the four Gospels and putting them into one cohesive, ongoing story. Because if you read the Gospels, there are certain details that certain Gospels bring out that other Gospels don't have. So, for instance, you have the wedding of Cana in John's Gospel, but then you may have the feeding of the 5,000 and the 4,000 in another. Or you'll have things like Mark, which is a little bit more compressed than others. So this is really cool, and I'll show you kind of the outside real quick before we get on the inside. So it comes in this really kind of stiff faux leather cover. So it's like really stiff. Like this is not like the greatest quality, like the super soft, like leather soft stuff. But it looks awesome. I think it looks amazing. I think the people who designed this, great job. So that's the front. Again, The Chosen presents a blended harmony of the Gospels. This contains the actual words of Scripture. This is not, if you're familiar with The Chosen, Dallas Jenkins, who's the director, his dad, Jerry Jenkins of Left Behind fame, actually makes novels. This is not what that is. This is the actual Gospels in a blended, like straightforward narrative kind of way. So again, here is the spine. The Chosen presents a blended harmony of the Gospel. And then here's the back with more of the fish and the line. It does have a little ribbon. I don't think this is double-sided. It feels okay. It's kind of reminds me of the ESV ones. It does also have black head and tail bands. And I do believe this is, let me open it up a little bit. I think it is Smythe Zone. I'm not sure. But as you already saw a second ago, I gave you a little bit of sneak preview. So here's the inside. It does have paper paste down. Again, this is not a Bible. This is just a little special project from The Chosen. So you get this kind of cool fishy design on the end sheet and the paper paste down. And then here is the opening. The people who publish it is Broad Street Publishings, and the scripture is actually in the CSB, the Christian Standard Bible version. So if you're familiar with that, and you like that version, hey, great. And this was put together by Steve Laub with help of also Amanda Jenkins and Dallas Jenkins of Chosen fame. And then you have on the left side here, you have copyright information, and then over here, a preface. I have not read this myself. I just kind of went straight into the scripture part, but if you want to check it out when you get yours, here is the preface from Dallas and Amanda Jenkins. So there you go. There's all that. And then here's an introduction from Steve Laub of this whole thing. Right here, actually, you'll see a piece of the history back in 160. So that is actually, I believe, the 2nd century AD 160, Tatian, an early church Christian in Syria, wrote his Diatessaron, where he created a single continuous story from the Gospels. Other well-known writers like Augustine and John Calvin wrote their commentaries in a way to show the Gospels in parallel or connected nature. And so that's what this is. This is also set up like a devotional. So here in the start, you'll have at the top, it says day 1. Again, the fishy design, because that's the Chosen's kind of design theme thing. And then you'll have some pericopes kind of explaining what's going on here. So all of this is scripture, and I can actually point out some parts of where this is from. So this first section right here is actually from Luke 1, and then some here is from John 1. If you're familiar with reading the individual Gospels, you'll actually recognize a lot of the scripture here. So again, more of John 1. And then over here, we have the genealogy of Abraham, or from Abraham to Jesus, from the book of Matthew. And then here's the genealogy down here, Jesus to Adam, from the book of Luke, chapter 3. And again, it just keeps going, and each day you'll have different readings. So this takes you up to, this is still, I think this is Luke, I think this is Luke 1. Forgive me for forgetting that and having a minor brain fart there. But again, you have, again, in the type of like a devotional. It's a devotional reading. It's 40 days. So day 2, you get to see Mary visiting Elizabeth, Mary's song of praise, the birth of John the Baptist, and so on. And it's pretty well similarly set up. So again, you have pericopes and scripture. But basically what this is trying to do is set up how the gospel would be, the Gospels, the story of Christ, would be chronologically from his birth to his death. So let me show you the end here. Let's go to the end. So here's day 40. So day 40 obviously ends near when Jesus is about to ascend. So you have the appearance in the upper room. Thomas sees and believes. And then over here, Great Commission, ascension of Jesus. And then here you have the scripture index. And basically what this allows you to do is you can look at these pericopes and see what scriptures they're from. So where they compiled them from. So again, the beginning, Mark 1:1, Luke 1:1 through 4, John 1:1 through 18, and then the genealogy of Matthew, and then Luke's genealogy of Jesus, and so on. So that's really, really cool. And then also up here you have the page numbers of where you're at. And then you also have some information. Make sure there's nothing else here. There's some information about Steve Laub. I don't think I'm saying his name correctly. Then also Amanda Jenkins and Dallas Jenkins. And then some information about the Christian Standard Bible. And then some resources about harmonies of the gospel, so you can kind of get an idea of, hey, there are more harmonies and kind of the history of these harmonies. 96, 2001, 81, 88, in different versions as well. And then there's also chronological Bibles if you want to check those out. So those are the resources. And yeah, there you go. So what do I think about this? I think if you are somebody who wants to read through the Gospels in a way that it's more like a story and it takes all the events and puts into one narrative, this is a great option from the folks at The Chosen. There's many others. I can't really give you some off the top of my head, but you saw on the resource page that there are many others from different timelines and in different versions. So definitely, I would say get this. I do not remember how much this cost. I bought this at Hobby Lobby. Sometimes at the front towards their checkouts, they do have books. So I found this and I was like, dang, I'm going to get that. I wanted to try it out. I am honestly a little disappointed with the stiffness of the cover, but it's possibly $20. I do have a really nice $20 CSB that has a better cover, but the Chosen people, they're not in the Bible publishing world. So there's that. But anyway, guys, if you like this, go and pick it up. You can buy it off of thechosengifts.com, I think is what it is. If you're familiar with the live streams, www.thechosengifts.com. So there's that. Or you can go on Amazon or Hobby Lobby. If you have a Hobby Lobby near you, you can also hopefully pick these up. So, hey, I like it. If you like it, go get it. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this review from Bibles on a Budget. And remember, folks, the truth does not have to be expensive. Thanks for watching.